How PSG can become a world superpower. Since the Qatari takeover of PSG in 2011, the Qatari Sports Investment Group have had the main aim of making PSG a world football superpower. Despite dominating Ligue 1 and signing the likes of Mbappe and Neymar, PSG haven't yet cemented themselves on the level of Real Madrid or Barcelona. In order to do this, PSG would have to consistently be getting to the semi-final of the Champions League and eventually win the tournament. So what does the Parisian club have to do to achieve this? Number 1. Create a clear vision with a coach and a system. The main critique of PSG in the last few seasons has been their lack of systemic identity, in many campaigns largely ending with defeat against Barcelona, Real Madrid in the Champions League. PSG have looked more like a cluster of talented players, moulded together in a system designed to fit everyone in, rather than the best system built, which players can then be assembled into to fill appropriate roles. This problem is very similar to the problem Real Madrid had in the early 2000s, where the primary policy was to find a system for the players, rather than players for the system. With Tuchel now at the helm, PSG should go down the route of a methodical possession-oriented approach, combined with a high and aggressive pressing system. Tuchel seems to be trying to build a side for this sort of tactical mentality, though this summer will be crucial for PSG's progress. Number 2. Sign players for the future, as well as for the here and now. The mark of a superpower is being able to attract the world's best players, as seen with PSG signing Mbappe and Neymar. Though in order to sustain a club at the very top level, the club needs to invest in the long term, not just for the present day. In the past, PSG have pursued players between 26 and 30 years old, which is not a problem if you want to add a world-class player in a position that you need improving. An example being Barcelona's signing of Luis Suarez at the age of 26 in 2014. The problem with this, as Barcelona are beginning to see, is that a few years down the line, if you have a squad full of these types of players, your team begins to grow old together, meaning that you have to replace more players over a shorter amount of time. The best way to negate this is by signing players around the 21 to 24 year old age mark when signing first team players, as well as building a good youth setup, including signing talents under 21 years old in order to develop them and eventually make it into your first team. Real Madrid have done this particularly well in recent years with the likes of Marcos Llorente, Marco Asensio, Dani Ceballos, Vinicius Jr. and Federico Valverde, all beginning to emerge in the first team. PSG will likely be looking for one, if not two, central midfielders this summer to play alongside Verratti in midfield. With PSG playing a 3-5-2 system, a dynamic, industrious box-to-box midfielder is needed, and a player who could play in central midfield in a 4-3-3 or 3-5-2 system as an advanced playmaker. 26-year-old Isco would be available for around 75 million this summer, as well as 21-year-old Frenkie de Jong from Ajax for around the same price. Even though Isco is a world-class player and de Jong is still only a promising young talent, PSG should opt to sign de Jong, as Isco in the next 4 to 5 years, like Di Maria and Cavani now, will need replacing. If PSG want to build a team for the next 10 years, de Jong is the man they need to sign in midfield. Alongside de Jong and Verratti, and Ndombele should also be targeted by PSG as an industrious box-to-box midfielder. And Ndombele is only 22 and would cost around 72 million, though him and de Jong would make a world-class midfield pairing who could play together for the next 10 years, which is exactly what PSG need. With Lo Celso also in their ranks, PSG would have an abundance of young creative central midfielders in their squad. In the centre-back position, PSG have planned for the future excellently, with Marquinhos now emerging as a world-class replacement to Thiago Silva. Kimpembe and Kerr are two young, highly regarded centre-backs who PSG can build a team with. Neymar is coming into his peak, but Mbappe is still ridiculously young and has to be the centrepiece of the PSG team for the next 10 years. Number 3. Follow the buy-to-loan model. PSG should attempt to emulate the model of buying young players and loaning them out, with the few of them returning in a few seasons to move into their first team or being sold at a high profit to help balance the FFP requirements. This has worked well with the likes of Vinicius Jr., who was bought for big money a few seasons ago, loaned out and is now being used by Real Madrid's first team setup. One thing that is important for superpower clubs is to continuously invest in youth. Even when your side seems stacked with talent, buying a young player and shipping him out on loan can be very beneficial down the line and make or save you a lot of money in the long run. PSG have an excellent academy with the likes of Nsonki, Kimpembe, Rabiot and Nkunku coming through and now being used in the first team setup. So if PSG adopt the buy-to-loan model, they could use the system more efficiently than the likes of Chelsea and Real Madrid. With PSG now dining at the superpower table alongside Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man United and Juventus in terms of competing for transfer targets and financial power, it is important that the PSG owners follow these three rules in order to move PSG into the bracket of an undoubted world superpower. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment and share this video to help grow our channel so we can improve and make more videos. Visit our channel to see more videos like this.